Hey guys, it's History Behind the Warrior, and today we're going to be talking about Poison from Street Fighter. Now Poison's backstory is extremely sketchy, but what we do know is that she was raised in an orphanage in Los Angeles, alongside her very long-time friend, Roxy. Now when the two were old enough, they would leave the orphanage and travel to Metro City, where they would eventually join the Mad Gear Gang. Now not much is known about her, whilst being a member of the Mad Gear Gang, outside of Final Fight. Now during the events of Final Fight, she was nothing more than really a henchman. Alongside her childhood friend Roxy, she only kind of appeared within the game as an NPC for the main player to beat, to obviously progress throughout the level. Now this man-on-woman violence created a lot of controversy over in the United States, but I'll talk about it properly at the end of the video. Now the main storyline for Final Fight is that Mike Hager's daughter was kidnapped by the Mad Gear Gang, so himself, Cody and Guy would make it their mission to infiltrate the gang and rescue Hager's daughter Jessica. Now during the end of Final Fight, the Mad Gear Gang is defeated and the gang eventually falls apart, with many members of the gang breaking off and doing their own thing. Now she does appear in Final Fight Revenge, however I believe her appearance in this game has in fact been retconned, so despite actually being playable in the game, her appearance in it is no longer considered canon. Now Poison would transition into the Street Fighter game, her first appearance being Ultra Street Fighter 4. Now after the destruction of the Mad Gear Gang, Poison became a wrestling manager, and things were going relatively well, until attendance at her events were starting to become poor. This in turn took money out of her pocket and disappointed her, as she couldn't find anyone to kind of excite the crowd. Now she caught word of the Sin tournament and decided to enter, not to really fight, but to scout for talent. Now after the tournament, she'd meet up with her former friend Hugo and offer him the opportunity of being a wrestler. Although he was hesitant at first, he would accept her offer, and the two would slowly rise to success. Now Poison does make a very brief cameo in Street Fighter 5, when Rashid is scrolling through his phone. Now she does return in Street Fighter 3, alongside Hugo, and continues to be his manager. You see, she's currently trying to find Hugo a very powerful tag team partner, so they travel around fighting many of the world's best fighters in order to find someone that's on a bit of an even playing field with him, and this eventually leads to them finding Ryu, and the two do become temporary partners, and later formed a wrestling stable called the HWA, which was to include many of the world's best fighters. Now there's a lot of controversy about this character. Some of you do know it, some of you do not, so I will elaborate here and let you guys know why she's been the center of controversy so much ever since her debut in Final Fight. Now Poison, along with Roxy, were originally going to be designed as cisgender characters, but later in development were changed to transgender characters. Now this was done because over in America, man-on-woman violence was not tolerated, so Capcom believed that by changing these characters to transgender, they could somehow avoid this problem, but obviously this wasn't the case, and when this game was eventually ported to the SNES in 1991, they completely removed Foxy and Poison and instead replaced them with Billy and Sid. Now the talk about Poison's gender has always been brought up, and at some point was brought before its creator, Akira Nishitani, who responded that the character could be male, but added that it was up to the viewer's choice to decide. Hell, even Street Fighter 4 producer Yoshinori Ono has gone down in interviews saying, and I quote, "Let's set the record straight. In North America, Poison is officially a post-op transsexual, but in Japan, she simply tucks her business away to look female." Now despite saying this on two separate occasions, he has changed his mind. So it just goes to kind of show the thought process in actually creating this character, since one person is saying something and the other person is saying something else. And I believe this is vastly where most of the controversy about the character has come from. That and some of the very offensive win quotes that you could actually see in the original version of Tekken Cross Street Fighter. They are just straight up offensive. I won't feature them here, but you guys have the internet at your fingertips, so do feel free to explore it for yourself. And I think that this pretty much wraps up the Poison video, guys. I hope everyone enjoyed this, and I hope this has taught you guys a little bit about Poison and a lot of the controversy that circulates around her. Hopefully I haven't offended anyone. I do apologize if I did, seeing as gender is a very sensitive topic to talk about. But I hope this just somewhat brings to light a lot of talk about Poison as a character, and hopefully this educates some of the people who were curious about it. Now please put down in the comments below who you'd like to see me talk about in my next episode for Street Fighter. And as always, if possible, let's try getting this video to 750 likes. It's a great way of supporting myself and this channel. Now as always guys, please comment, like, subscribe and share this video with everyone you know. Please take care, and I will see you all next time.